Hey y'all, Natalie here today for a cherry on top, and I'm using this adorable stamp set from Catherine Pooler called Hey Dumplin', and of course mixed media. So I have these 3 papers that I got in my recent order from a cherry on top, and I decided to go with that one on top there from Cocoa Vanilla Studio. It's from the Happiness Collection, and it's just so freaking gorgeous. I can't even. On the camera, that cardstock below it looks kind of beige, but I promise it's like a pale pink color that matches the paper a lot better than it looks. So I ripped right into it. I know that hurt a little, right? And you know, I never do a design on this side of the page for some reason. I'm usually doing like read it right to left kind of situation. So I'm switching things up today, y'all. So I'm going to do some mixed media behind the photo there to run into this pattern paper. So I'm going to stick down my pattern paper, and then I'm going to put Finnabar clear gesso on top of it and on the cardstock as well. And we're just going to play around with some mixed media, and I promise this is so easy. Anyone can do this. Apply gesso to your page, and you can make it as smooth as you want or as textured as you want. And let it dry. That's the key. Let it dry completely. And there you have it. And I picked a magenta color of watercolor. And I'm just going to paint my water on the paper first. And then add my pigment and let it swirl around. You'll see what I mean here. What I'm using there is a shimmers. But you can use any watercolor. Any watercolor that's not even a liquid watercolor. But these have sparkle in them. And there's plenty of watercolors that are pearlescent or metallic in the shop. I'm going to do a blog post on the Cherry on Top blog today. So I will link plenty of options there. So I'll put the link down below, and you can check out all the options in the store that we have of different metallic or sparkly or shimmery watercolors. So yeah, there you see. It's just the color dripping all over the page. It pretty well stays within the parameters of where I put the water, as long as I slowly and gently move it around. You'll see in a minute it goes outside of those parameters right there, but I just wipe it up with the wipe and it comes up pretty well. And what I'm doing with my finger is the color's a little clumpy, so I'm just, using my finger to kind of smooth it out. Sorry, I'm trying to do a voiceover and my dog thinks I'm talking to her. And there you have it. It's super gorgeous. I'm loving the way it looks. And so it feels just like an organic shape that's a continuation of that ripped paper. And that's what I was going for here. So now I'm going to go back through and add splatters. So I water down that watercolor even more. And I'm using a little brush because I want tiny splatters. So I'm just kind of tapping my finger really close to the paper, and I get the tiny splatters. And then I go through with a different turquoise spray, and I do the same. And then in that pattern paper from Cocoa Vanilla Studio, there is a beautiful navy blue color. So I do the same with navy blue. Oh my goodness, my dog is crazy, y'all. Belle, stop. So yeah, and that really gave it a lot of depth. I am going to roll over it. You'll see an earthquake here in a second. That's me getting my paper towels from my hanging pegboard. And I'm just going to roll over that. It keeps the splatters in circular form, but kind of mutes them, which matches the paper really well. Look how shiny and pretty. I'm so excited. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. I want to put the paper there, or the picture there, and just put a title under it and use those stamps I showed earlier to create my own die cuts and kind of embellish the page. So I love a good pun. So we were out to eat at an Asian fusion restaurant. It's like Asian street food. So the title to my page is So Ramentic. Get it? Like ramen. Anyway, it was a long overdue date night. And now I'm using the Hey Dumplin' set. And basically, when you first get a set like this, it's all these layered pieces. My advice is just play with it for a little while to figure out the layers you like best and the colors you like best, because the possibilities truly are endless. And sometimes you might think a color combination is going to look great and it doesn't. Or sometimes you might think it's not and it does. Like here, I wish that those colors I put on there were a little lighter, but that's okay. Next time I know, like, one stamp will do me, not 2. But I'm layering it up here. And it was so fun to just like create my own little die cuts to go on this page. There's all these little sushi pieces and dumplings, and I think that's a bottle of sake. And they have kawaii faces that you can add to them, which is the little happy faces like from Asian art. And yeah, you just like build your little piece of sushi, and it's super fun. So now I'm going back to the layout, and I have this Nouveau Glacier paste, and I'm watering it down and mixing it up, and I have to add a lot of water, but I get it to be another splatter element, and it just basically leaves giant chunks of glitter all over the page. So yeah, that's my jam. I liked the silver color that was in my watercolor, and then I had cut my title out in silver glitter paper, so that just worked really well for me. And also I know you're probably sick of seeing me use that Heather lowercase alpha die cut set from Pinkfresh Studio, but I don't care. I love it so much, and I checked and it's in stock, and you should go buy it now because I use that on basically everything I make. You can go totally get your money's worth for it. I love it so much. So there's all the pieces of the die cuts that I cut out. So my second piece of advice when you are creating your own die cuts for a scrapbook page, I know a lot of these stamps people use on cards, and that's great, but I love to use them in my scrapbooking. Invest in the matching dies. That's my advice. It just makes life so much easier. I super suck at fussy cutting, so I definitely invest in the dies, and it makes life so much easier and this so much more fun to play with. So I cut some of the pieces in vellum. So I'm putting vellum over those little dumplings so they kind of look like, you know, how you can see through a dumpling. And then I just added the glue to their eyeballs so it wouldn't show through the vellum. But I'm just building my sushi here. I'm sticking pieces of fish and little eggs on top of the rolls of rice. And are you hungry yet? So it's so fun. This was definitely a fun page. And I also have another photo that I just took recently of my boys eating sushi that I'm probably going to use the same stamp set for, but I can totally change the color scheme up, and it'll be so different and new. Yeah, so now it's time to start building the layout. So I put my photo down, and I put the title on first, and there you go. That's that Heather alpha, and I only used the outline this time because I wanted this mixed media to show through. And now I'm going to start adding in my stamp die cuts. So I just went for it and used like basically all the sentiments in the stamp set because they were all so punny, and that's my jam. And yeah, it was cute. And there were 3, which I like to do things in 3s, you know, because it's visually pleasing. So yeah, I'm gonna stick them around, and you'll see me do that here. Not much more to say. Sorry about my dogs. They have been terrible during this voiceover, but I have to get it done before the children get home, and it's even louder here. So those little fortune cookies are super cute, and they have different little tiny things that you can stamp in there, but you could even use stamps from other stamp sets to put in your fortune cookies. So that's super cute. I like to, and those little dumplings, to me, they're also, if you turn them upside down, they look like jellyfish. So you could totally make little jellyfish. I might do that. Especially because I'm working in a mini album for our beach trip this past summer. So little mini jellyfish would be perfect for a mini album. Stay tuned for that. While I'm talking, I'm going to let you know that I have linked down below my affiliate link for a cherry on top. If you would like to shop there, I'd love if you would use that. And I also am on the blog today, as I mentioned before, so please check out that blog post. And yeah, I love a cherry on top. They have so much stuff in their store to choose from. And in the end here, I also am just taking the smallest heart, and I'm just doing 1st, 2nd, 3rd generation stamping just to add a little more depth to all of the splatters and around all of the clusters of embellishments. And I love that final bit that it left. So let me know if you have any questions, and I will do my best to answer them. And thank you guys for watching. I would love it if you would like and subscribe. Bye, y'all.